All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Michelle, Chief Data Scientist of Mogul Beginnings Data Consulting. And I have my wonderful friend with me.
Hi, I'm Teresa Pelham with the Grants Boutique Consulting Firm, where we help you find funding to impact your community. Our tagline is winning grants to fund a higher purpose.
I know that's right. We need to make a song. We say winning grants to fund a higher purpose. I know that's right. We might have to come up with a little jingle.
Little jingle for it.
Little jingle. So today we're talking about don't be a pick me grantee. So before we get too far into like what we're talking about, let's just kind of level set. I feel like we always got a level set of what some things mean before we go into it.
Right.
So when we say, I'm going to test out some different versions of this since we're looking at it on Instagram. Oh no, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Okay, we're gonna stick with this. Um, when we say pick me, I don't know if any of you guys watch Ready to Love, but I watch Ready to Love. This season I feel like it gets worse and worse. But anywho, there was a young lady up there. If you watch it, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna call this young lady out. She came off like a pick me, and I would read the comments. Other people, everyone else agreed because she would say whatever she needed to say in company of who she was with in
Mm-hmm.
order to be chosen.
Mm-hmm.
So if this person says they like going fishing, oh yeah, I love to go fishing. I go fishing with my dad. If this other person said, I can't stand fish, she's like, yeah, it is a little smelly. Like I don't really like to have to take a shower after I go do outings every single time. So it's like you're saying you're more of a chameleon. You're blending in to whatever situation. And we used to say pick me when it comes time to talk about relationships. And a man and woman want to be chosen by someone. So that's what a level set, what we mean by pick me. So Teresa, what comes to mind when we say don't be a pick me grantee? Like, because it came up that off a whim one time, but like, what does that mean to
Yeah.
you?
Well, when I hear the term "pick me grantee," I think of mission creep. You're
Mm.
um you're just saying things, and I don't know what that sounds like. You're just saying things to fit the grant so you can win the grant. So that's what mission creep is. You're just saying, you're just putting in the things, you're changing your mission, you're changing your vision just to fit the funding. And 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 you know i i i, I hate that people do that. I always tell you, you know, don't chase the money. Don't chase
Mm-hmm.
the money. Stick with what you know. So don't, and I see it, and a lot of people, or a lot of grant reviewers, um we see it a lot in applications, because one of the questions that a lot of the NOFOs, the notice of funding opportunity states, is have you what other funding that you have received. Sometimes we'll see that a lot, and so that is not me. I don't know what it is.
It's
Um,
okay.
uh, we see it a lot, and we can tell that somebody's jumping, because here, this is a grant about childhood hunger, and then we go and you don't got a grant for um, building shelters for animals. Then you got another grant. I mean, and those are two extreme examples,
Mm-hmm.
but you're all over the place. So that's why we say don't be a pick me grantee. You're just all over the place. You're just following the money. Whatever that NOFO says, that's what you're gonna do to get the funding. But we need you to be true to your mission and your vision. Okay. And one of the best tools um, to tackle mission creep, and that's what it's called when you're um, changing your mission to support the funding, or just moving everywhere. You're just all over the place. So one of the best tools to tackle that is having a strategic plan,
Mm-hmm.
and do some strategic planning, because that's it helps you align your organizational, like your stakeholders, and help them organize around a shared vision for the future, or for the shared vision of how you want to impact your community. Okay.
That's
So
good.
that's one big thing. Don't don't do mission creep. All right.
So can I ask a question about that?
Mm-hmm.
With mission creep, is that something that you see that's pretty common in maybe these startup companies and
I do.
nonprofits, or is it just like across the board? Everybody try it and see what they can get.
Mm-mm. Most of the time, is I usually see that a lot in startups and first time grant recipients. They
Gotcha.
do that. They and especially if you got one grant and then you say, oh, we kind of sort of do what this grant says. So we're going to go after that. We're going to change and revise our mission and vision so we can go after this money as well. Don't kind of sort of do it. Know if you're going to do it for real.
That's
Just
good.
stay true. Stay true to what you do. And another way to stop mission creep and not be a pick me grantee is assessing your organization's internal strengths and weaknesses. You know, you are assessing your effectiveness of different projects, and I understand that a lot of nonprofits and for profits they do have different projects that they do, but all of them, all your projects, all your program should be in alignment with your mission and your
Mm-hmm.
vision. Stay true.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
They have. I'm. I'm a little older, so they have this. I don't know what this is. It says say less. When it says say less,
Ah,
I didn't even know what that means. They were saying that they said say less, and so now I'm doing my own thing. Stay true. Stay true to what
that's
you
good.
do. Stay true to what you do. Don't be all over the place.
That's good. So again, I want to relate this back uh to the like where the whole idea of pick me comes from. Let me give you some credit on this one.
Yeah.
Um because when you want to be chosen by a man or a woman, you're willing to say and do anything to do that. You're now compromising your morals a lot of times, just letting out your guard and your boundaries. So it's just like your non-negotiables are now negotiable, and so that means you're going to put up with whatever comes with it. So let's now put this back in context with you're applying for grants, and you started out with, I want to do community gardens, and then
Mhm.
now over here I want to do childcare. They may be related, maybe, but chances are it sounds like they're divergent things. So let's say you actually get awarded both of these grants.
Yeah.
Now you have to actively be doing these two different
Two different
things,
things.
and perhaps your mission was only this one thing. Like, it's like I set out just to feed the homeless, or I'm concerned about the youth population and going to school, but I've said now I've tied myself to these two different things, and now it's maybe you have to bring in extra staff that you didn't necessarily
Mhm.
anticipate having to bring, because you were planning to do this, but now you've taken on
Mhm.
this for the money. So it's like at the end of
Mhm.
the day, and I know a lot of us that are, have done let our guard down and dropped our boundaries when it comes to relationships. At the end of that, was it worth it?
Right.
So I want to put it back into the grant world. At the end of saying you can do all these things, perhaps being rewarded multiple grants that do
Mhm.
different things, and now you have to staff these other areas, or now you have to deliver subpar results
Or now you
because
have to deliver a report
a
that,
report, and
and
now
we're looking
done.
like, what in the world?
You're in over your head, and now it's like, was it worth it?
Yeah.
Was it worth it? So to be excellent, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week. We want to be excellent. Just getting it done is not enough.
Yeah.
If you want to, so like I do data, that's my thing. We want to show part of what I do, and what I do with Teresa is showing what you did with that grant money. We want to
Mhm.
show that you are successful, that you're trustworthy, and that you can trust us with that money again. If you're just kind of doing the pick me stuff and just trying to grab whatever's available right
Everything.
now, you're missing the long-term goal. Teresa talked about this all the time, and I'm gonna let you do that now. Talk about those partnerships. Like once you get that great relationship with a grant, and they
Right.
said they're so pleased with what you've done, and they want
Right.
to do it again.
Right. And those, and it does happen. I have several I know of several people, organization. I also have a client that they did so well at what they did, they didn't have to do recompete for the grant. They just had to fill out the application and they do it. And a lot of grants that happen that way is because they are so pleased that you stayed true to your mission. They are so pleased that when you did that, you were able to impact the community even more.
That's good.
And they don't have to do recompete for the grant.
That's a load off right there.
So just think, if you get $100, $200, $300,000 grant, you put your all in all, you don't change from your mission, you do the impact, you do the work, you see the change that's affected, you got your metrics that you measured, so you know you have quantitative and qualitative measures of change, and send this all to the funder, and the funder says, hey, wow, you know what, we want to go ahead and fund you again for the next 2 or 3 years.
That's good. Listen, Teresa
I
says all the time.
I know of people who've gotten non-recompete grants.
I love that. So you put in the work up front, do the great work, and then get a reward. That sounds like a win to me. Mm-hmm. And Teresa says this all the time. Grant money is slow money because it takes some work on the front end, but once you get it, it's good money. And that sounds like
money now. I ain't telling you no lie.
I ain't gonna tell you no lie.
I ain't tell you no lie. When you get that grant money, it is good money. It helps you to impact your community, change lives. It's a good thing, but you got to be ready and you got to stay true to your mission. Don't do mission creep, please.
That's good. So, Teresa, when we talk about mission creep, that also means when we say mission creep, guys, we're talking about being a pick-me because you're kind of just, all over the place. What are some other ways that, because sometimes, like, I think that example was really good and obvious. Is there another way that sometimes people think I'm not doing it, but they are, like a sneaky, like it kind of just sneaks in?
Yes. Another way that you all can do, not just with mission creep, but not doing what you said you were going to do in that grant.
Ooh.
Yeah. When you write a grant, you're telling your methodology, you letting people know what you're going to do with their funding. Mm-hmm. And you go and you change that without notifying the funder, the person who gave you the money. Uh-oh. So that's not a good thing. That's another pick me, kind of like somewhat of a pick me. They want you to pick them. They got the money. And then they're changing. Now, there are some instances where you may not have spent the money at all or things change. Don't just do it as a whim, or don't just do it because you want to do it. You need to contact the funders who gave you the money and have a conversation with them, your grantee specialist or the funder, whoever is in charge of your grant, to let them know what's happening. I've seen that done as well. Mm-hmm. And they had to repay the money back.
What?
They didn't do what they were supposed to do with the funding. Even though they had, they didn't really do a bad thing, but they kind of misspent. Is that a word? What is it?
Yes, misappropriated.
Misappropriate. Thank you. Having a senior moment. Misappropriation of funds. And they had to pay some money back. So let's not do that. Don't be a pick-me. Stay true to your mission and do what you say you're going to do in the grant application. Don't do that. Good. And even if things happen, and grantees and funders know that things happen, but you need to communicate with them and let them know what's happening. Just don't do it and move on and go about your day. And then they do that audit and found that you had misappropriated some funds.
And honestly,
somebody's gonna be really sad. They're gonna lose their job, let alone they're gonna have to pay that money back. So let's not.
That's real, because you gotta do what you gotta do to get that money, especially if it's all spent.
Let's not do that. Okay.
Ooh, now you put yourself in a worse situation than you started. You've been better off just not getting the grant at all.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay, because I want to relate that back when we talk about being a pick-me, because it sounds like what you just said is choosing to ask for forgiveness as opposed to for permission. And I think a lot of us like live our life like that, like as if people are just going to go along with it. They're going to say, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like, no, people cannot be okay with it. And when you have signed a contract, an agreement, whether it's like verbal, which is like between people, or written between entities, like you need to honor that. Anything outside of that is now your integrity is being questioned. Because let's think about this. If a man or woman said something like, hey, I thought it was okay to just take your car to this girl house real quick, or to this guy house real quick. We just friends. It's like, no, that's not okay. Or they try
No.
to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. That's literally what you're doing
Right.
when you are choosing to do mission creep and start doing something else outside of what you said you're going to
Yeah.
do.
And,
So,
and you know what? I just want to say a lot of funders, they fear mission creep when they
really,
apply because, foundations or corporations or agencies, they tend to make it a point to focus on a single issue. All
uh-huh,
right. So it may be like homelessness, environment, early learning, and they focus on that one issue because it shows discipline.
mm-hmm,
All right. So when you just go and do things randomly, it's like throwing things at the wall to see if they're going to stick.
yeah,
That's when you do it. That's mission creep. You're just throwing things out there to see what's going to stick.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
so every foundation or corporation, every fund they have priorities. All right. So we make sure that what we do align with their priority. And it's okay if your organization does not align with that priority. That is not
yeah,
the only grant or the funder out there. There are
good,
other funds that you can go to, So don't get discouraged, and I think that's what a lot of people do too. They see it,
mm-hmm,
they don't exactly fit the priority, but they're gonna make it fit
yeah,
because I think they
ooh,
feel like this is the only one, this is the one I need right now. I've
mm,
already told you all, grants are not, if you're in dire need of funding, grants is not it. It's not it, because grants is slow money. It's good money, but it's slow. It's a process. So if
good,
you feel like, oh, my company or my organization is not going to make it if I don't get a grant, you need to look for all of it. Grants should be just one part of the pie, not the whole pie. You should be
that's
having other
good.
things going on to get money into your organization, not just grants. Okay. But
That's good. You
grants is
said a
the
lot,
piece of the
Teresa.
pie when you get it.
That's
But
good.
it's
You said a lot, girl. Dang, I should have wrote it down. What you said, but because I mean, it was just good. Just thinking about
Mhm.
being trustworthy. So, like you said, the I can understand why an organization or a funder is a little leery if you're doing all these different things, because it's like, well, if
Mhm.
I give you money, are you really going to stay true to what we want to do? Because I think a lot of times we do forget that the funders, whoever's giving us the money, isn't doing it only just for goodwill.
Right.
It's out of their mission too. Like, these are things that said they want to touch or impact. And so you by proxy are doing it for them. And so when you start, doing too much and
Mhm.
trying to do this and that, it's now interfering with their mission. Like, we said we're going to spend this much money impact
Right.
this mission or this community, and you taking
Mhm.
it upon yourself to make us not stand true to our word. So I think that's
Right.
a really good reminder that it's not just them being nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, and you just gotta. I just know that. Don't change your mission. Don't chase the
Mm-hmm.
money. Every time I see it, every time when people start changing what they do just for the money, it don't end right. It don't end
Yeah.
good.
And it sounds like scarcity. Like you said, I'm doing this because, as
Mhm.
if there won't be another one. The same
Yeah.
way we settle for a man or a woman as if there won't be another one. Like, we really have
Yeah.
to come out of that scarcity, because that's when we start being a pick me. That's when we start trying to just who gonna choose, because we come off desperate. That's really
Yeah.
what it is. It looks
Yeah.
desperate when you're trying to say whatever to get somebody to choose you, to pick your application. It looks desperate, y'all. There is a lot of money out there. There was trillions. We gotta find that graphic again. There was trillions of dollars of grant money from the federal level as well as foundational and
Right.
private money. There's so
Mm-hmm.
much money out there, and a lot of these organizations don't even give it all away.
Mm-mm.
So you don't have to make yourself fit in this box that you were not meant to fit in.
Right. Right.
Let me
Yeah.
put this up here because I be forget we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
This where are my little banners? Where are my banners? Oh, to get the checklist. So
Oh
grab
yeah.
your
I
free
keep forgetting about it
exactly.
too, you
We just
all.
be going in, be talking. To grab your free checklist, I'm getting a little thing now at grantsuccessunlock.com.
And this will
Grab your free
help you.
checklist.
This
Mm-hmm.
checklist will help you get grant ready, get all your documents, get things, and it will help you to stay kind of true to your mission. Don't
Mm-hmm.
deviate because even on the grant funding checklist, the grant readiness checklist, it tells you to write down your history and when you were started, a little bit about your organization, kind of like what you do. So it kind of puts it in your face. This is
Mm-hmm.
what you do. This is what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
And keep it in a line, because it's easy. It's so easy to see that money and say, oh yeah, I'm going to get that money. We kind of sort of do what they do, or we can make it fit, to
Yeah.
mold it, to shape it to fit. Stay true.
That's good. That's
Don't
good.
be
So
a
grab
pick
that.
me.
Don't be a pick me because pick me equals desperation. I'm writing that right now. Pick me equals desperation. So yeah, don't be a pick me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
don't be
your
desperate.
time. Just stay true. And there are grants out there. You just
Yeah.
got to find the right grant. I always tell you all, if you got a library card, go to Foundation Directory online. It's got like over 150,000 foundations. Out of that, I'm sure there's somebody in there that will give you a grant.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That's good.
Don't be a pick me.
That is so funny. This was such a good dialogue. I think it all boils down to having a scarcity mindset. And so if you
Mhm.
have not dealt with having a scarcity mindset, that means that's more of a poverty mindset that
Yeah.
there's not enough. I got to do this. I got to
Mhm.
hustle and grind as if abundance can't come to you, as if money can't come to you effortlessly. If you're kind of stuck in that scarcity mindset, then we got to deal with that because it's going to show
Uh-huh.
up in every area of your life, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in how you work for money, whether it's in how you lead your organization and earn money that way. I promise you, y'all, if you don't deal with that poverty mindset, that desperation, that scarcity mindset, it's going to kick your butt every
Yeah.
single time. And you're
It
going to
will.
wake up like, why did I do that? Wasn't worth it. That wasn't the best decision. Because when we're operating out of scarcity and out of desperation, we're not really making the best decisions. If
Mm-mm.
you really think back, when you made decisions out of desperation
Yeah.
and out of just like scarcity, as if like, oh, there's no one else, that there's not another opportunity, you end up getting a job that you hated. You
Yeah.
end up dating someone that you shouldn't have. You ended up
Yeah.
moving somewhere where you shouldn't have. Like, oh, everybody's is popping in Atlanta. That's where it is, as if you can't be blessed in your own city.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna say. Teresa, you got anything else for the people?
No, just stay true to what you do.
Mm.
Don't change. Don't do mission creep. Don't be a pick me. I'm learning so much from, like I say, the young folks. Don't do that. Stay true to what you do. You
Mhm.
know, just stay true, and you can help people in your community. You can provide an impact. Just stay true.
That's good. I second that emotion. And I just
I'm
encourage you
sucking
guys.
that emotion.
I just encourage you guys to grab that free checklist, y'all. It's
Grab the
free.
checklist. It's free.
I mean, what do you have to lose?
Free
And
90.
if you right, and if you need more hands-on help, like, hey, I already know I need more than just little, I'm gonna say little on this one time, this little checklist, then you can email us at admin@grantsuccessunlock.com. If you need more hands-on help, like, hey, I have a grant in mind that I want to apply for, but I need help writing it. Or
Right.
can you send me grants that are a good fit for me, so that way I'm not out here just chasing anything. Just
And I
email
see it
us.
all the time. Lord have mercy.
The
Help my
ambulance
people.
chasers.
Help my
Ambulance
people.
chasers.
Just
Grant
chasing everything.
chasers. That's what we go. We got to coin that with two grant chasers.
Yeah.
They're like, I mean, they're well, we'll
Like
maybe we'll keep it
storm
at
chasers.
yes.
When they have,
Maybe
they have
we'll say
a storm with all these grants in it.
oh,
They
that's
we
cute. That
chasing.
might be a good graphic one day. But maybe we could say I think ambulance chaser is a perfect one because I've been watching this show called All Rise, and they really make a distinction between lawyers like, oh, they're just some ambulance chaser, because there's like a negative connotation
Mm-hmm.
to ambulance chasers as opposed to a respected attorney. So I'm like, maybe we need to coin them ambulance chasers.
Right.
We might
That
need to
would be
mix put
good.
it
That'd be
with.
good. That'd be a good graphic.
We gotta work that out, Teresa. Well, guys, if you have any other questions, just drop them in the comments. If you're watching on replay, just let us know that you're watching on replay. Watch it, drop your comments and questions. We will see them and get notifications. And so we'll circle back and actually address those comments and questions. We're so happy that you guys tuned in. Again, you can reach out to us at admin@grantsuccessunlock.com if you need more hands-on help with acquiring grants and allowing grant funding to be a part of your revenue strategy. But just if otherwise, just make sure you grab that checklist at grantsuccessunlock.com/checklist right now. Do it before you forget. Right now.
And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out so we can answer those questions, because we want you to be an informed grant seeker.
I love that. All righty, guys. We will see you guys next Tuesday. See y'all.